The cake debate was settled by the Supreme Court today. 7-2, the high justices ruled that a Colorado baker was a victim of anti-religious bias. This all began years ago when a same-sex couple asked the baker to make a wedding cake. The baker refused, saying a same-sex wedding was against his religious views. The United States highest court sided with the baker. But the court is not deciding the big issue in the case, whether a business can refuse to serve members of the LGBTQ community.
Why is the ruling limited to just this case? Because the baker was denied a fair say right from the beginning.
Demonstrators gathered Monday outside the Supreme Court to protest the High Court's decision to side with a Colorado bakery that wouldn't make a wedding cake for a same-sex couple.
They did reverse the decision. We were not happy about that.
But Matt Moonen, executive director of Equality Maine, says the High Court's decision for this specific case in Colorado is understandable.
Their state's Human Rights Commission had displayed some bias that made it impossible to give a fair hearing in the case.
Jack Phillips refused to make the wedding cake in 2012, saying it would force him to express a view that violated his religious beliefs. Now the Supreme Court has reversed that ruling, saying the Colorado group never gave the baker a fair chance, effectively discriminating against the baker's religious beliefs. On the state level, Colorado and Maine have similar human rights laws.
Our law prohibits discrimination on a whole range of categories, including race, religion, disability, age, sexual orientation, and gender identity. And it is possible for sometimes those things to be in conflict with each other. And that was kind of the root of this case.
Amy Sneerson, executive director of the Maine Human Rights Commission, further clarifies with a statement to News Center Maine that reads in part, quote, according to the Supreme Court, the baker's First Amendment right to freely exercise his religion required the Colorado state agency to consider the defense in a neutral fashion. So he did not get a proper hearing.
Maine's LGBT leaders say they're disappointed, but there is a bright spot in this case. 7 of the justices signed the ruling, clearly stating that same-sex couples cannot be discriminated against.